Child, get on in here. Get on in here, because this is Diddy trial update, day number 18. Get in here, sit down, have you a cocktail, because this finna be a lot. Girl, so I know y'all be waiting on an update every day, but I'm not like your everyday content creator when it comes to law. I have to digest the evidence that's being presented before me because this is my field. Now, if I had to start somewhere, I wouldn't start with today. I'd start with yesterday, okay? So yesterday they ended with Bona. Bona is Brianna, and she is Cassie's homegirl. What Bona getting up on that stand testifying to is that Diddy hung her over a balcony of the 17th floor around about an apartment in LA. Now, as Bona makes her testimony, the judge say, stop, hold on, pump your brakes. What is the relevance of what this young lady testifying to the charges Mr. Combs is facing? And the prosecutor say, Your Honor, hold on, give me a second, I'm finna bring it all home. Now, as the prosecutor goes off into bringing it all home, they stated that her testimony shows a relationship of violence and behavior when it comes to Diddy, when them freak offs and things didn't go his way, as well as him being able to locate Cassie when he wanted to, how he wanted to do what he wanted to do, girl. Now, y'all remember how the other day I was breaking down the RICO Act itself to y'all and telling y'all that it just wasn't present in the evidence that they have been bringing forward. Well, child, they didn't start walking them in the room. One by one. The R, the I, the C, and the O. Now, based on Bona, which is Brianna's testimony, this presents the coercion. It explains how Diddy was very demanding and intimidating, even becoming physically abusive when it came to Cassie if them freak-offs didn't go down the way he wanted them to go down. Bona's testimony is a testimony that for sure pinpointed coercion on Diddy's behalf. Not only did Bona's testimony present coercion on Diddy's behalf, honey, she testified so long, so strong, so hard, and she brought KK into the case as a co-conspirator. I kid you not. KK, if you know what I know, baby, you better sing a song like Nina Simone, or you going up the river. Because they have started getting into the hard-hitting evidence, and your name is singing, ringing, and dinging. Now, on a more serious note, in the land I'm from, Nicole Westmoreland, the defense attorney, did the cross-exam on her, and she said, hold on, wait a minute, baby. You moving way too fast. During Nicole's cross-examination, she questioned the validity of this young lady's testimony. She questioned the evidence in this young lady's testimony, child, and she also questioned, well, if this man hung you from 17th floor out for balcony and you were scared for your life, why did you go back to hanging around him and Cassie and you knew the toxicity of their relationship in nature? The young lady ain't had nothing to say for herself. You said Diddy was in LA dangling you from a balcony from the 17th floor on this day, right? She pulls up the picture evidence that the prosecution done put forth. The girl said, yeah. She said, these photos you took yourself, right? Bona say, yeah. She say, all right. Your Honor, I would like to enter in exhibit A, B, C, D, D. And in these exhibits, baby Westmoreland was entering in proof that Diddy was on Bad Boy Tour, his registration to the Trump Tower Hotel in New Jersey, his receipt for paying for a runner during his stay at the hotel on these same dates that Bona picture had. So Westmoreland say, so is it safe to say that a person could be in two places at one time? Bona said, no, they can't. Westmoreland say, so you lying on this man? In a lack of better words, you know, in court, we ain't gonna just flat out say that, but Nicole Westmoreland said that without saying that. You feel what I'm saying? And the girl say, I just gotta disagree with you. Nicole said, arrest. And the courtroom went silent, as if Nicole had scored. Now, child, we're going to move right on along to the next witness, because the next witness came about was Jane Doe. But in between Jane Doe and Bona, it was an expert on evidence and he was testifying to the legality and the validity of some of the digital elements that have been submitted into evidence. It's interesting for me, but not important for y'all. You know, y'all just want the mess, girl. They just want to hear about what's going on. So now, as we move into Jane Doe, let me tell you something, 50 Cent baby mama, because I'm not going to say your name either, because if the court granted you the right to testify as a Jane Doe baby, that means you have a level of coverage and protection that I don't want to step on. I'm not academic. All right. But let me tell you something, girl. You did not have to say all that you said in introducing yourself about how your baby daddy and Mr. Combs has a public relationship of toxicity. They don't get along. You identified yourself to the public without saying your name. So as we dig off into the Jane Doe testimony, honey, the girl got up there and testified how she really got Diddy from her homegirl. And she was like a side chick on the low. And Diddy provided her with a certain type of lifestyle that she just couldn't say no to financially. And she said at first he was whining and dining and spending the time, baby. And she was feeling him and he was feeling her, so much so that they put on the roll of Sesame Street. That's right. That lady had that man's name saved in her phone as Ernie, and he had her name saved in his phone as Bert. You know, they call themselves being little yeah-yeahs and running the low on a homegirl who really was messing with him. And then once she started messing with him, you know, pay for play, she got involved in her feelings, and she was feeling him so much so that when he introduced her to the rugs and he introduced her to the freak-offs, she just thought she was having a threesome pleasing her boo. Now, as 50 Cent baby mama, I'm sorry. As Jane Doe testimony went on, she went on to tell the story of how, as time went on, these freak-offs began to happen more often. And why she wanted to just be with her boo thing and cuddle up under him and please him. And she made those requests to him. More and more and more of the Craigslist men kept coming into their bedroom life. And so when she began to become uncomfortable and didn't want to comply, he cut that water off. You know, that money. That Jane Doe testimony is important because Jane Doe walked in the trafficking of this case, as well as the conspiracy and the co-conspirators. She testified to how Diddy wanted pictures or request picture from the Craigslist men of their peckers. And after her and the Craigslist men got it on, Diddy wanted her to keep their milky kids. He wanted to rub in the plate. It's too much. Now, she also goes on to testify how these freak-offs were continuing to go on in current dates to 2024, even including when they went and raided his hotel room to apprehend him up in New York. The police have evidence that they found the baby oil and all the toys and things that they like to do when they do what they do down there. Y'all stay tuned. This case is a mess. It's all over the place, but baby, they walking this RICO in the room. And while at first I wasn't sure, oh, here come the feds.